Demon Knights number 20, written by Robert Venditti, art by Chad Hardin. So last issue, we kind of wrapped up the whole vampires attacking Themyscira thing, and we're now moving on to the Amazons know where the Holy Grail is. That's the word. So we see a nightmare from Sir Euston. They wake up and they're, imagining them being bit again. Turns out their fever is not quite breaking. They're still very ill, and Exoristos is watching over them. Hippolyta steps in and is like, hey, yeah, no, they're great. They're super cool. Actually, they keep on using she. They keep on referring to them as a her. And it feels like kind of a step back. I know this may just be 10 years down the road, things have changed sort of thing, but it feels weird that they established in this book prior that they are a they, and now we're going she. But regardless, Exoristos is like, Euston's the best. Euston ain't going to quit for nothing. And Hippolyta basically says, yeah, look, Exoristos, here's the thing. You have been punished enough. You can come back home. You've done enough. Come back with your sisters. And Exoristos is like, I'd love to, but I don't really fit in here. So I'm going to stay out there and work with them. And Hippolyta's like, all right, well, that's disappointing, but yeah, all right, good enough. Come meet your friends in the library. So then we go to the library, and everyone's just looking for the book that details where the Holy Grail is. And the librarian gets it down. And Vandal Savage is immediately like, hey, this library, it's got a lot of books. I heard about one book from the East called the Kama something. I'd like to read it. And he's like, yeah, Kama Sutra, it's over there. Just go away. So Vandal immediately runs off for that. And they say, hey, how do you guys even have so many books when nobody's left the island? It's like, no, we're not allowed to not leave the island. We leave the island 3 times every 100 years just to, catch up on the world and know about the stuff going on, which I don't feel like is a thing. I feel like that's kind of cheapening the fact of Wonder Woman's, experiencing the world of man, and then she's the only one who left, and Exoristos is banished, but apparently people can just leave every 33 years. I don't know. It's weird to me. But regardless, one of them caught up with a merchant vessel, and there was a guy there who wanted to find the Holy Grail, and he was just describing his want for that and how he's tracked it down. And Sir Euston comes in and just be like, hey, I want to be a part of this. And he's like, okay, but you're deathly ill. Are you sure you're good? And he's like, yep, I'm good. So they had the coordinates written down in the book because he was really taken by the Amazonian and wanted her to share in all of the treasure hunting and whatnot. And so they mark it down on the map, and they're like, it's right there in the middle of the ocean. I'm like, okay, well, there's nothing there. There's no island. It's just like, yeah, there's no island on any map where we are now. Just because it's not on a map doesn't mean it ain't there. And Sir Euston freaks out this is it. This is where I feel it. I feel it in my bones. Also, I feel sick, but I feel it in my bones. We're going to go there, and we're going to do it. So a few days pass. They all get on a ship. Horse lady's horse is like, please, for the love of it, just let me stay here. It's all these beautiful women horses. Let me stay here. And horse lady's like, no. You know the rules. You got to come with me. And Hippolyta tries to convince Exoristos to stay, and she's like, no, I may come back one day. And she's like, well, you will certainly be welcome. And Vandal overhears this being like, oh, well, if that's the case, I'll be back too. And Hippolyta's just like, if you show up, we're cutting off your face. And he's like, well, then I'm definitely coming back. So then he sees Jason Blood on the boat, and he's like, hey, we are cool, right? Bygones, what's a couple hundred years between immortals? And he's like, yeah, we're cool. And as soon as he's out of eyes or earshot, he just tells Xanadu, oh, I'm going to keep an eye on him. He's an ass. I hate him. I don't want to, he sucks. So Xanadu uses some magic to speed up their trip. It's just 2 days at sea. And as they are finally approaching the point where they need to go in the Mediterranean, they come across this ship graveyard, all these broken up ships. And they're like, oh, okay, maybe we should go around. And Xanadu's like, no, hold on. I'm sensing a magic thing. And she undoes this hidden spell that shows a whole bunch of rocks and caves and stuff and a beach that they can land on. And when they get there, it's like, okay, well, there's nothing here. So I guess we'll just rest here for the night and then ship off in the morning. And then immediately, not even before the sentence is done, Xanadu is captured by a giant tentacle. And I gotta say, this There's a panel. She screams out for Jason. And then there's a panel of all the demon knights looking at her being abducted. And everyone looks so bored except for Jason, who is screaming his goddamn lungs out. It is hilarious. But anyway, they all run into the cave. Jason turns into into Etrigan to save Xanadu. And when they get in there, there's a giant like octopus monster called the Architeuthis. Apparently they're surprised that it exists. So they start attacking it. Nobody's able to break through its skin. It is like 100% invulnerable. And finally, they do a bit of teamwork. They have they have Exaristos take Sir Eustace's sword, plunge it into the monster's forehead, not enough to wound it, but just to get it in there, and then Xanadu uses it as a lightning rod for her magic, and its brains just fly everywhere. And they're like, all right, we did it. Not that big of a threat. Demon Knights for the win. And Exaristos discovers a wall with a whole bunch of like hieroglyphics on it. And Xanadu has to translate what it means. And it's like, oh, these are from Merlin. These are Merlin's runes. And lo and behold, dead center up at the top, she's like, whoa, hold on. I recognize this one. This is the glyph for the Holy Grail. And it's just a picture of a cup. Like, yeah, clearly that's the, what else would it be? Like, I could have figured that out. But regardless, that's the issue. Dead stop, sudden stop. I was just surprised when it ended because I was reading it digitally. So, it was something. I wasn't huge on the art. Nothing bad against Chad Hardin. It looks okay. It's fine. But every single character has these like really defined cheek lines. And I'm just not a fan of that because it looks like everyone's skull is just like, it's just skull and skin draped barely over top of it. So not a huge fan of that. Beyond that, I mean, it's a capable enough next step. Obviously, we were always going to discover where the Holy Grail was. That was the whole thing of Sir Eustace's quest. So I'm okay with that. I do wonder how much Sir Eustace being bitten is going to play into it, because it seems kind of ignored at this point. Like, it seems like we didn't actually want to do this, and it's just kind of something that was forced upon us, and now we're just working our ways away, especially when they made the point of all of these Amazonians were bitten, and they, like, immediately turned. And yet Sir Eustace, for some reason, just a normal human, with immortality, mind you, but still a normal human. Yeah, whatever. You just fight it off for a couple, like, days with no signs of being ill at all. It seems a bit weird, but I'm not that hard-pressed about it. So overall, I'm going to give it I'm just going to give it a flat 7. It's okay. It's not great. I think the comedy beats the, like, little bits of humor, especially, like, Vandal Savage going after Kama Sutra. Fantastic moments. I'm enjoying them. But it is taking a dive in plot and art a little bit. I'm not as big as I was earlier on in the series. So hoping they can turn that around. We are approaching the end here. We only got like 3 more issues. So I hope we can get something out of it. But if not, we've had a good run.